Let me turn off the head bob. Geeks, nerds, gamers, and trolls. This is MMOBomb.com on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't already. I am the man, the myth, the legend, the noob fridge, Troy Blackburn. This is Mortal Online 2, the first look. You'll have to forgive me if I sound a little nasally, getting over the old COVID, if you will. Still recovering from that a little bit, but we're here to do a first look at Mortal Online 2. Launched yesterday as of the time of this recording. Launched on January 25th, 2022. It is now January 26th at like 6:30 in the morning because I'm a masochist. We are going to the graveyard to kill some zombies. We are in the tutorial zone. It's called Haven. There basically is no PvP combat here. This is a full loot hardcore PvP game. Everything's super hardcore. Just ask the people who like the game. It's super hardcore. Everything's hardcore. So we're going to go kill some zombies, check out the combat, take a first look at the game. It's very, very important here that we note that this is a first look. I'm specifically staying in the Haven area just so I can record the things I need to record to show. This is not an in-depth review. This is not an expert guide. This is just kind of showing you what the game is like, what it's about, so you can decide if it's something that you want to try. It's available for Steam. Normal price says like $39.99. Right now it's on sale for like 10% off, I think it is, for $35.99. I'm going to be honest with you, just right off the bat, I didn't pay for this game. They provided us a key, and I still want a refund. This is not a great game. This is basically Mortal Online 1 with some better graphics is all this is. This is, you're watching the combat. By the way, the movement, this is move speed, and this is sprint. You tell me when I'm sprinting, when I'm not sprinting, and then we'll both know. Everything in this game moves through molasses. Every single aspect of the game is so slow. Now, as we're doing things like sprinting, like right now I'm sprinting. Can you tell? I can't tell. As you do different skills, you're going to improve those skills, so I'm supposed to get faster over time. But this is the new player experience. This is it right here. This is what new players are gonna try. Now, you'll also notice, as the little joke at the beginning of the video here, the head bob in the game, you can't turn that off. It's just constantly this. And I don't know if it comes to the YouTube video or not, but this is horrendous and unacceptable. Normally for me, this would be an automatic uninstall and a refund request, but you know, I'm getting paid for this, so here we are. We're going to go in here and kill some zombies. You do get a few quests to kind of take you through the tutorial here. To get you started. After you leave Haven, there's no quests, there's no storyline. It's sandboxed. You go out and you make your way in the world, and you fight people and lose all your stuff. That's the way the game works. So let's jump over here real quick to just the gameplay footage, and then we'll go kill some zombies here. Throw our weapon. I have crafted a sword and a shield, and a tunic. So I'm a little better off than I was the first time I came in here. So the first time we had to parry some zombies. Now we're just going to go in and kill them so I can just kind of show you the combat. So, directional combat system. So that was just a poke to get him started. I can block. The blocking is also directional. So he's going to attack me from the right. I need a block to the right. You can see I blocked a lot of damage. And then I'm going to hold and attack from different directions. For directional attacks. I missed a block there. So he's going to attack me from the left. I'll block to the left. And all I'm doing is holding the left mouse button to attack and dragging in a direction to attack from that direction. Holding the right mouse button to block and dragging it to a direction to block towards that direction. As you can see, all the animations are floaty. Nothing actually really makes contact. Super slow, just like everything else. Also, all loot, look, it's just a blood, no, it's just a blood pool on the ground, and all the loot comes in bags, whether you're looting zombies or people or whatever. We'll take his carcass, and then we'll see if we can we extract anything from the carcass? We can butcher it. Yep, we got some materials, it looks like, out of that, so that's good, I guess. There are vendors in town. I can trade basically any materials in for some basic gold, silver, copper pieces and buy some stuff from them. Or I can collect materials and craft my gear. So we'll head back to town now. Oh, actually, let me show off the gathering here. This is the gathering. So you can use your sword to walk up to any tree. And oh, I can't gather with a shield equipped. Okay. You can use your sword to chop the tree, but heaven forbid you have a shield in your other hand. So if you just have a sword, we can chop this tree. This is it. Like, this is how it happens. It's gonna, via text, it's going to tell me how much I'm getting and when I'm getting less and when it's depleted. The tree doesn't change at all at any point. There's no scars that say I'm chopping the tree. The tree doesn't fall over when I'm done chopping it. And it's the same with all gathering materials. Like, we'll go over here and we'll bang on this stone. I can gather it, but it's not going to change the rock at all, no matter how much I do. So pretty basic when it comes to that. I obtained a granite pile. Now I do have, obviously, as you can see in my inventory here, I do have a pickaxe and an axe that I picked up off of a vendor. So I can use those as well. But when you first get started, if you don't, you got to find the vendor on your own that has the pickaxe and the axe. As you can see, I'm getting a lot more granum, of course, with that, which is good. And then let's see what the axe does with the wood here. Come on, come back out. There we go. Choppy, choppy. Yeah, getting more wood than we were with the axe, so that's good. At least you're getting more materials. But yeah, so that, I mean, that's gathering. That's all of it. It's all the same. It all looks the same. Return to the campfire per our tutorial. So it told me I was done with the tutorial, but I'm still getting some tutorial stuff. It's time to put your new skills to use and make some money. When something dies in Mortal Online 2, they will drop a loot bag. Yes, everything drops a loot bag. So let's get out of here. Let me get my sword and my shield re-equipped here. All right, first person. First person is the only option. Head bob is the only option. So we're going to go back into town very, very slowly, and I'll show you the crafting window. And I'm not over encumbered. This is just how slow I am. This is sprinting. The only reason you can tell I'm sprinting is because my stamina bar in the top left, the yellow, my stamina bar is depleting. So I'm assuming I'm skilling up my running. I don't rightly know. The quest says go back to the graveyard. We're not going to do that. By the way, as you can see, my health is not completely full. We can rest. Let's see, over there, I've got an action bar over there. So Alt 1 is where I've got my rest. This too is also very slow. It takes literal minutes to do this. And as you do it, you're supposed to be skilling up, leveling up, and you'll rest and recover health faster the more you do this. Of course, you're supposed to sit through all this in the first place to get to a point where any of this might get a little better. I'm not sure at what point this is supposed to get any better. It's Definitely not looking like it's going to get any faster, any quicker. Traveling doesn't look like it's going to get any more convenient. Combat doesn't look like it's going to get any better. The game looks pretty okay. There's a little bit of pop in, and the textures aren't, super great. But for an online game, it's not a bad looking game. Sound design is hit or miss. The music can be hit or miss as far as, like, it sounds okay, but sometimes it doesn't necessarily go with what you're doing. As you see the buildings here, there's a nice, like, overall architecture to the buildings, but, like, the textures and stuff on the buildings just isn't great. And everything is set to high. Everything's turned up. So we're going to wander back into town here. I'm going to go over to the crafting station. Oh, also, there is a map, but the map doesn't show you where you are. So you just have to use context clues to figure out where you're at, because this is a hardcore game. So because hardcore, you're not allowed to know where you're actually at. So this is town. God forbid, I've already got turned around in town numerous times. Here's the statues. Whenever you read it, you can leave this tutorial zone anytime you want to. Just go over to the statues and talk to those, or interact with those, talk to those. You probably do talk to them. But interact with the statues. You can leave this sort of haven zone anytime you want to and choose what city you want to start in. As far as in the open world where you can get ganks by people who've been playing longer than you have. So look at this guy. This guy's flying, man. He's like super fast. So here's me sprinting. It almost sounds like I'm running. Oh, nope, that's him. Look, this guy's fast. Now, in the character creation, everything you do does affect your character's stats. So that guy has chosen a smaller size, so he's quicker. He chose stats that probably make him a little faster. You can choose your bloodline. You can do everything you do, including what you look like, how big you are, how small you are, affects how strong you are, how fast you are, how much health you have, how much money you have. There's different races that affect your stats in different ways, and you can go in and change some of your stats to how you want. But everything you do in character creation affects your character stats, which is actually a pretty cool system. I would like to go back and change and show you that, but you can only make one character, so I can't go back and make another character now that I have a character in the game. But yeah, everything you do affects your character stats. This is shield. Where is see, I'm turned around already. Okay, so I got myself turned around. I found the armor crafting table. So we're going to now, I need some head armor. So I need to select the head armor, and then I need to select the type of helmet I'm going to make. I need some core materials, which are going to be my leather. I need some padding materials, which is going to be this cotton that I gathered earlier. I can increase the core materials to improve the end product, but we're just going to craft it. You do have to hold it down to craft. I obtained this leather helm. I'm going to throw that on my head. Oh, look, it has an animation for putting stuff on your head. And then we're going to see ourselves. As you can see, we are now wearing a helmet. Now all we need is boots and gloves too. So the way you learn to craft things is by reading books, and different vendors will have books. Here in the first town, there's a library where you can buy lots of books. So it may be a good idea to just, if you're going to play the game, spend some time in this area, go just collect materials, trade them into vendors, collect money, and then trade that in for books. So that way you can have different skills and stuff and better skills when you actually get started out in the world. I would definitely recommend just crafting yourself a full set of starter gear and collecting all the materials and getting all the books and things that you need to have certain skills. Look, carrots. But these are the statues that let you, that's where you go to another instance, and this is how you go to the mainland. Right here. And get killed, and get ganked. All right, Mortal Online 2. I'm not a huge fan of it, so as we sit here and look at town and watch the people run around and do some things, I just want to run through sort of a list of my thoughts of this game that I put together while I was playing it for a few hours. and just give you an idea of sort of what I think. Obviously, feel free to enjoy the game if you do. This is my opinion on the game. That's all I can really offer at this point. So here we go. I've got a little list of thoughts that I just sort of jotted down as we go. The game is so slow. Everything is like moving through molasses, movement, combat, everything. Sprint does basically nothing except drain stamina while you're moving at the same speed that you're basically walking as, because hardcore MMO. This game is so slow, it makes me want to rename my New World character to Barry fucking Allen, because it makes New World feel like I am the Flash. That's how slow this game is. Animations are bad. They're wooden. They're repetitive. I guess because it's a hardcore MMO, makes Skyrim combat look like the Batman Arkham series. Like the combat, the animations, nothing makes combat, nothing makes contact. Everything's floaty. It's just not good. The UI here, the UI is dated. It looks like my grandmother developed it. Forced first person perspective, which is a game decision. So that is what it is. I'm a third person guy, but whatever. If it's a first person game, it's a first person game. But the mandatory head bob is inexcusable. As somebody who's susceptible to motion sickness, I can't play this for very long. And if given my own devices, I would have uninstalled and asked for a refund within 30 seconds of logging into this game and realizing that I can't turn off the head bob. There's no excuse for that. But like I said earlier, I'm getting paid to do this, so I stayed and played for a little while. But I do have to play in shorter bursts. It's not. I do get used to it a little bit, so it's not the most horrendous thing in the world. But I can only play for like an hour or so, anyway. Which is part of why I'm doing this is I'm stopping to kind of go through my list and my thoughts because I can't move anymore because I've got a headache. I'm already feeling queasy. Is that a me problem? Yes, that's a me problem. But as a game developer, you can do stuff to help with that and prevent that. And you should do things like not make me have to watch your head bob. When you gather, nothing in the world is removed or changed at all. Nothing is affected out in the world. The nodes don't disappear. They just become depleted via text. That's pretty dated, and it's 2022. I mean, we are launching this game in 2022, so we need to judge it based on other games that are out there. Other games, trees fall over, rocks disappear as you mine them. The cotton plants would be pulled up as you looted them. There should be more of that out in the world. But hey, you can AFK chop wood. Like, you can literally just go up to a tree and hit the button and walk away and come back. Because hardcore, it's so hardcore, right? Everybody in chat will tell you this is a hardcore MMO. But you get AFK chop wood. Resting to regain health takes literal real-world minutes. I went to use the restroom and came back and still had to wait for health recovery at one point. I don't like that all the loot drops on little bags on the ground. That's a nitpicky thing. The sword that it has you craft in the tutorial is so much worse than the sword it just gives you when you spawn into the world that it's laughable that folks who aren't paying attention or don't realize for a while would swap to the sword that it has you craft and probably throw away or sell the sword that you have in your inventory. I just happened to notice. I was like, wait, this sword that I'm fixing to sell this vendor is so much better than the one I'm holding that I crafted. It's ridiculous. Don't have me craft something that is just worlds worse than something I already have for a tutorial. That should be at least an upgrade for the tutorial part, and then let me go out in the world and figure out how to make better swords. It's fine. The directional combat registration is pretty hit or miss. Luckily, there is a sensitivity setting that you can go in and turn it down some, and that did help with making sure that, when I pushed the mouse button, if the mouse moved ever so slightly, it would automatically send a block that direction instead of the direction I wanted to go. So turning down the sensitivity actually did help with that. But just know when you go in, it doesn't tell you there's a sensitivity setting for that. And it if you've got a high DPI or a high mouse setting, you're probably going to have some trouble with your directional combat and directional blocking specifically at first. The tutorial itself, the tutorial windows are all scripted, and they can't handle the fact that I changed key bindings before I even got into the game as far as my movement and what some of the keys do. And it makes you hit the key that it wants you to hit to get out of that tutorial window when it pops up to tell you how to do something. So I've changed R to my automatic run. Well, for some reason, R is default interact in this game. Who chooses R as default interact in the game? I don't know. E or F. E or F. Those are what you choose as defaults in a game. E or F. Not R. R is not an interact button in a game. But so I've been auto running to get out of tutorial windows because it wants me to, I have to push the R button, even though I've rebound my interact button to another key to F. The game doesn't care. Enemy AI is horrendous. They're just all over the place. They have no idea what's going on. Enemy animations are horrendous. You saw me fight the zombies. That's it, man. That's nothing makes contact. Nothing looks good when they start moving. The zombies look okay when they're standing there, but at the moment combat starts, it loses everything. Enemies, I've seen boars, pigs, zombies walk through fences and stuff that I can't walk through. I've had stuff run towards me and from me through obstacles that I can't get over, whether I'm jumping or walking. Don't get lost because the map's not going to help you know where you are because hardcore. The community, unfortunately, has already been toxic in chat because hardcore. The number of times in chat I've seen, just for an example, someone say, go back to WoW just because a player asked a question or had something they didn't like. Because hardcore MMO, you have to tell them to go back to WoW. Come on, grow up. Overall, this is Mortal Online 1 with updated graphics, and you need to save your $40. In my opinion, feel free to form your own. You can check the game out on Steam if you want to spend $35 for a first-person hardcore full loot PvP MMO, survival MMO. It's here. It's playable. It has run fairly well. Other than just there's some graphical pop-in and stuff. The servers have been fairly stable. They did have some issues with logins and stuff at the very beginning, but all that seems to be sorted out at this point. On day 2, everything is running smooth, early in the morning at least. There's other people on, just not a ton, but you know, it's run fine. It exists. If it was free to play, I probably still wouldn't play it. So anyway, those are my thoughts on Mortal Online 2. Thanks for checking them out. I'm not a big fan. Maybe you will be. If you like what you see, check it out on Steam. Subscribe to MMOBomb here on YouTube if you haven't already. Always head over to MMOBomb.com to check out the latest news and information on everything online multiplayer. I've been the Noob Fridge, Troy Blackburn. You can follow me on Twitter at NoobFridge. Thank you so much for checking out this first look. This is done. I'm uninstalling this. I don't want to play this anymore. Thanks for coming. I'm out. Peace.